Well, this is where the real challenge begins. We are back today for our first game in charge of Southend United. We are desperately praying that we don't get injuries because the transfer embargo, the lack of players, and everything is a concern. We've just got to do the best we can on the pitch and get through it until January. Yes, hello, and welcome along to episode 2 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. We are back today with Southend United for our first game in charge in the National League. We face Oldham Athletic, another side that have fallen down the divisions in recent years before possibly getting a Dagenham and Redbridge game in as well. But for now, if you're looking forward to this one, a chance to distract from all of the off-the-field problems, then please do put a thumbs up on it. If you did miss the first episode yesterday where we met the staff and the small squad that we've got to work with for the first few months, then please do go and find that up in the eye above before continuing. There's also a link to the head coach there, which is continuing every day at 3:30. But for now, our focus is on Southend United because of course it's been a very quiet summer on the pitch, no signings due to a transfer embargo, no money in the club due to a pending takeover. But actually, while progressing through to the first day of the season, I actually found a few bizarre things, certainly on the ownership front, because we mentioned in the last episode that the chairman's status was will listen to offers and was still Ron Martin, which made me think the takeover hadn't gone through in game. And we've had a few messages and notifications to say that, oh, a takeover's being discussed, there's people willing to take over. But actually, if we go and have a look at the staffing situation, it's a bit weirder than I thought, and I didn't notice it in the last episode. Because as well as Ron Martin being the chairperson here, there's also the lead of the consortium that in real life is taking over the club. Unfortunately for Southend fans, since I recorded the first episode, there's actually been a club statement delaying that takeover now. But in game, those people are involved at the club, including the new directors and all of that stuff. So I'm a bit perplexed, to be honest, by the situation. I don't know if it's because I'm doing the real world start. Maybe the takeover is already in game and will happen at a later date. I thought it was just the transfers, but it might be a transfer of ownership too. It's something we're going to have to wait and see, but the long and short of it for now is that we haven't had the takeover, we've still got a transfer embargo, and we can't sign anyone, whether it's loans, whether it's free agents, whether it's unattached players, whatever. We cannot sign a single soul. And that means we are relying entirely on these players left at the club. I've got 2 youth players in the squad today as well. There are 6 grade out players there, and I think there's a further 5 youth players. Yes, there are, who we can pick from if we need to. We've only got 1 goalkeeper. We've only actually got 3 first team defenders because one of them's suspended today. We're playing a midfielder at centre half, and all 3 of our senior subs are also centre midfielders. So there is not a great deal of balance in this squad. We're having to do the old adage of fitting square pegs in round holes, and for now, we've just got to try and get over the line. But the few players that are here are very good. We have had a few short injuries in pre-season, but nothing that's keeping people out today. And that's a good job because there's not much else to go with here. So we could get to a stage with grade out players, certainly in terms of goalkeepers. But for now, we have got to get through with this squad and see what we can do. While we have had a transfer embargo on the playing side of things, I've prioritised the area that I feel is most important for the future. Those of you that have followed the channel for a long time will know exactly what is coming. I have focused on getting the staffing right, because when we get to that position in January where hopefully the takeover is done, the transfer embargo is lifted and we can bring players in or wheel and deal, the last thing I want is to not have good players available to sign. Now what we've done to make sure of that is bring in a number of brilliant coaches. You can see there we'd filled out the teams, but if we go to our staff section and show you them in full, I'll be able to show you who the new faces are here. So all of the top 3 were there already. We have added a couple on a coaching side, most notably Barry Royden, who is a fitness coach that just offers a little bit. And to be honest, at the minute, fitness is crucial because we're playing 2 or 3 games a week with 14 players. I need to keep people as fresh as possible. Barry Royden will help with that. In terms of the medical side, I've done a lot of work too, because of course that's going to be crucial for us now as well. So Dan Feasy comes in as a physio. He's very good. He's solid. He adds to the team and gives us a little bit of quality in there. We've got a sports scientist in Craig Smith, who again is pretty good for non-league level. And most importantly, preparing for when we do get to January and we can bring people in, and we might need to do so quickly to save ourselves. I've really focused on the recruitment side. We've got John Still, who's a great director of football, and Tom Robinson was there as chief scout, but I've brought in two more names behind them. First is Joe McLaren, formerly of Derby, Steve McLaren's son, very decent judgment of ability and potential. He's adaptable, he's got good knowledge of English football. Not sure why he's not got any knowledge of Dutch football, given he was at Twente with McLaren, but for now, very happy with that. He's a good addition. Not as good as Paul Molesworth, though, who is 15 for judging ability and potential, fairly professional personality, and has been chief scout at plenty of EFL clubs. We're maybe not going to see the fruits of that labour immediately. We have got performance analysts and things in as well. Dan Badeau is our new head performance analyst, but otherwise, very good additions to the coaching team, and hopefully they'll get us through for now. What we've got to do, though, is focus on our start to the season, because we have got big games coming thick and fast. You can see there's already, 4 midweek games before the end of September, another 2 in October as well, and then the FA Cup and FA Trophy start as well. This could be very difficult. Lewis Lomas is out long term. Demetru is suspended today. We have 14 senior players and we can't sign anyone. We've had a good pre-season against lowly opposition, but this is going to be tricky. We are going through to our first game against a side in Oldham that in real life were the second favourites for the title in pre-season, finished last year like a train, started awfully, sacked David Unsworth in real life, and I think he's sacked in this game as well. For the season preview, they're still third favourites here. Let's go and get through the tactical meeting. Josh Lundstrom to be closed down. I mean, they've got the likes of James Norwood, Brennan Dickinson, Sean Hobson at the back. Good National League players. This ain't going to be easy. Let's go and have a look at the team we've picked. We've got 6,000 fans in, which is great. But as you can see, we're having to do the best we can in a situation, and it's not particularly ideal. We're trying to play wide, we're trying to play direct, we're trying to serve the strikers, particularly Harry Cardwell with crosses. And the thing you can see from our tactic is a lot of work on wide areas going forward, and then defensively, perhaps a bit more of a balanced approach. So more direct, wider, get balls into the box. Hopefully we will get some outcomes from that. Pre-season we have been scoring goals, but also we've been a bit frail defensively. Partly because we've only got 3 defenders fit at the club. So Harry Taylor, a midfielder, is covering at centre-half. Callum Powell, an attacking left winger, is playing on the right of a midfield 4. Otherwise, most people are in their preferred positions. Dan Mooney would prefer to be a winger. He's having to play up front just because he's got legs. And as well as 3 midfielders on the bench who are senior level, we've got 2 youth players as well. 1 a young centre-half, 1 a young centre-forward. So this is the 11 we're going for in full. It is Angden and D in goal. Scott Morris and Ralph are the fullbacks with Harry Taylor and Ollie Kensdale at centre-half. Powell and Bridge the wingers with Miley and Husin in centre midfield. Then Harry Cardwell with Dan Mooney up front. Hopefully they can produce the goods. It's probably not the type of game against one of the title favourites that's going to define our season. In real life, Southend absolutely battered Oldham on the opening day, so I'm hoping we'll be able to do the same. But at the moment, I'm not hugely encouraged based on the team we've got, and the transfer embargo is making it tough. Through to the opening day against Oldham Athletic, Alan Nielsen, the former Luton defender, is in charge at the minute. 5 changes made for the visitors. They've just brought in Mickey Mellon as their manager in real life. He's not made it into the game, but for now, we're going to tell the lads our home form will be important. I mean, please, lads, it would have been lovely if you could have reacted even a little bit. But we're into the first half at Roots Hall. We're into our first game in charge of Southend, and this is going to be a very difficult job for the first 4 or 5 months. Let's go and get into it as we kick off in the first half. Again, we're going to need to speed these bits up a little, aren't we? And then to get through it here, into the first bit we go, as Hogan keeps the ball at the back for Oldham. Lundstrom gets it inside. Noor Husin is the man to intercept. And don't forget, he's going to be going on international duty in September, October and November, you'd assume. That's going to make it even harder for this squad. As Dan Mooney drifting wide, playing up front today, but can't resist going back to his original position. Bridge gets the early cross in. Cardwell's up. It's a dream start. 37 seconds on the clock. And it's the exact goal we wanted to see as well. Mooney working hard, drifting wide. Jack Bridge cutting in on his right foot from the left. Whips in an early cross to the big target man up front. It's the exact goal we wanted to score. And it's fruits of our labour for our pre-season training. As Ralph puts a corner in, we put some work into these. All the big men at the back post. Kensdale's there. Harry Cardwell's there. But this one's headed wide. Very thrilled with the start. But it's only 7 minutes. And as soon as our defence gets tested, we might find things a bit harder. As Hogan chips the ball forward towards Nuttall. Taylor doing well covering in there. Cardwell can't get the second ball though. And Nuttall's in. Taylor does well initially. But Tollitt cuts in. Oh, it's a great finish. Curls it in off the inside of the post. Goalkeeper has no chance. And it's 1-1 after 10. This is the difference. We've got a midfielder centre-half. We've got young players up front and in goal. It's not looking particularly great defensively. Let's get the league table up to see our progress at the moment. Moving up to -9 as it stands. A really promising start, but it's drifting away. And now we've got to deal with the Oldham long throw. Kensdale heads it away to Bridge. Can we counter? Back to Ralph. Look for that long ball. Bridge can carry it forward. We've got 4 or 5 forward already. Bridge in towards Mooney. Bridge makes the run, but Ralph is the man found at left back. Down the line he goes. In behind towards Mooney. He's quick, but not quite that quick. Norman comes and smothers the ball. He'll take the long goal kick as well. And this is where we could get caught because we're reliant on legs for a team that is not going to be able to be rotated. As Scott Morris finds Taylor. Big ball forward towards the target man. Cardwell down for Mooney. Goes for the early shot. That was ambitious. If he turned out, he could have found Jack Bridge. But he didn't do so. It stays 1-1. It's been an encouraging display, to be honest. But at the moment, we've not got a lead to show for it. As Ralph takes the corner. Big ball up to the back post. Kensdale's there. Nuttall heads half away. Kensdale keeps it in play, though. Across the box to Mooney. Brilliant ball. I was about to encourage the lads, but from a centre-half, that is a real bit of quality and composure. Waits for the run, waits for the opportunity, and produces the good to find his man. I'm going to praise the lads for their performance so far. We've got a positive reaction out of that. As we head through 2 minutes of stoppage time, we lead at the break in our first National League game. I'm really happy with that. We're not getting a reaction out of the lads, but going forward, we've got a real threat. Bridge and the front two are going to be crucial here. And it's whether we can keep them all fit for this. If Cardwell gets injured, we've got no 1 6 foot who can play up front. I don't know what we do. So for now, in games where we can get 2 or 3 up, we will definitely protect those players. But at the moment, at 2-1, that's a little bit too risky. Though we have got a corner, and we have done so much work on set pieces with the new creator. So much work with it in training. And it's paying off at the minute. Harry Cardwell and Ollie Consdale both attacking the back post. Kensdale gets there with the header. Very poor celebration, but we don't care. It is 3-1. It's a goal and an assist for the centre-half. And now it's a Norhusin free kick. Oh, good save from Norman. At least the ball actually covered the post there. That's one thing I did ask for. With an hour gone, I know I'm being greedy, but I'd love to get one more. Because then we can rest some of the boys that we'll need. As Jack Bridge has got the corner again, into the back post. Oh, he's unstoppable. Cardwell's shot is saved. It's pinball in the 6-yard box. And Powell goes for the shot, which deflects to Norman. Lovely animation on that deflection, actually. With an hour gone, we are 3-1 up. And we are playing absolutely fantastically. We've got to be thrilled with this so far. And with 20 to go, do I rest people? That's the question. I feel like we might need to leave it a little longer. We have got a week off this time, so I'm not as worried. But here is Ralph to Powell. A fourth would change that. Miley chips it in. In fact, he was going for a shot. That's very greedy. And it didn't come off either. Let's go and look at changes now. I mean, the problem is, I've only really got centre midfielders, haven't I? And I'm not sure that any of them are going to help us here. So we're going to get to the final 10. And then we're going to look at subs. We'll see out this highlight. You can see Powell, Cardwell, both knackered. The midfielder's not in great shape. As Sharon gets the ball to Hogan. He carries it forward to Lundstrom. If they get a goal back here, I might have to change my plans. Norwood carrying it down the right to Dickinson. Support inside of him. He takes on Ralph, who is our best defender. He forces a mistake to Miley, but they win it straight back. Dickinson again to Hogan, looking to create a grandstand finish. Hobson gets it wide. Scott Morris does well, and Powell can bring it away. Finds Scott Morris again. Chance to carry down the line. Down the line is Powell. Scott Morris running inside of him, as is Norhusin. He's in. It deflects to Mooney. He's not the best striker. He's not the best finisher. But he's popped up with 2 goals today. And at 4-1, surely this game is over. I've still not got a break in the highlights to make my sub. And you all know my superstition, which I'm not testing now for FM24. As Sharon gets down the right-hand side. This is a dream start, and it is almost replicating real life. as Lundstrom finds Dickinson, carrying it down the right-hand side. Good ball in, Nuttall's up, off the woodwork. Ralph will clear it away, and Bridge can bring it clear. That should stay out the danger, but Lundstrom's won it straight back. Dickinson's beating his man. Ralph does incredibly well. 7 minutes to go. We've got to protect people now. Jack Bridge will come off, and a Cardwell will come off. Max Fides will come on up front. He's not good as a target man. He's 5'9", he can't jump. Is Mooney any better at it? Not really, but he's going to go there anyway. We're also going to take Jack Bridge off, but I'm not sure who the best option is here because we've not really got anyone who can play out wide. Nor Husing can't do it. The subs can play attacking midfield left, but they can't really play left to midfield. Fonguk is the best of them, but he's still not great. But for now, needs must, Fonguk is on. And do I do the same on the other side with Callum Powell because he's struggling physically? I think we're going to have to protect him. We've got Ollie Coker as an option who can play in the attacking role, and Jack Wood, who much the same to be honest. So I'm just going to bring on Ollie Coker. He'll do the job. He'll sit there for now. We've got 7 minutes to go. We're 4-1 up. And they're all midfielders. If they tuck in a bit narrower, probably not going to harm us for now. We've got a corner kick, and we're still a threat from these. We've still got Kensdale in there. And Ralph will look for him here from the corner. Kensdale's up. His header straight at the keeper. That boy is a superstar at this level from them. We're going to win this game. It's a dream start. We've looked to goal threat. The set-piece work has paid off. A brilliant performance with 15 seconds to go. Coker the sub down the right. And that will surely be it. -7. The deficit is cut. And we have started the season in the best possible way. Not just the result, but the performance too. Southend United are bouncing. And while we've only got 14 players, I think they've proven today they're pretty good ones. Well, it was almost our first disaster of the season coming into this game because yesterday, our only goalkeeper in D picked up a knock. He is fit enough to play though, albeit with a tight groin. I just hope it doesn't get worse in this one because we've got another game in 3 days, another one in 7. We've got no alternative until late September, so please don't get any worse today, but I've got to play him. Dagenham are top after the first game. They won convincingly, as did we. But of course, we're sitting down at the moment in 24th on minus points. Rashawn Scott, he was a Reading youngster, wasn't he? In our final Twitch saver last year. I'm pretty sure I remember that name. Let's go and get through to the team selection now. If they're fit, we're going to play the same 11. The goalkeeper is obviously a worry, but everything else will stay the same. Do I put a sub-keeper on the bench in case? I think I probably have to. Let's go and get through to the under-18s. We've only got this guy, who is 3.5 greyed out stars, positioning 3, anticipation 3, reflexes 6. I mean, it's not good, is it? Let's have a look at him and put him on 4. And this is where the dilemma comes. I've probably got to put him on for one of the midfielders, haven't I? Because we can't not have a defender or striker on the bench. And this means I'm now taking off one of the only senior players at the club, which doesn't feel right, but it's what we've got to do. We've got to go with a security today. Same 11 that played in the first game against Oldham, but away from home against a winning side. Have we got any chance at the same outcome? I doubt it. Let's give a squad number to our keeper and get straight into the first half. Well, Callum Powell is hurt that he's been played out of position, but hopefully you could understand it in the circumstances. They've got the likes of Jake Hessin-Tyler, Connor Lawless, Innie Effiong's a good striker at this level, Tom Eastman, an experienced centre-half who might be able to deal with Cardwell, and Elliot Justin, the skipper in goal, another former Luton man from years gone by. Let's go and ask the lads to pick up where they left off though. It was a really good display. What is that over there? Not sure what that building is, but 4-4-2 for both teams. They're cancelling each other out. What we've got to hope for is that here we can produce our best. If we do, you know we've got a chance with this 11. The problem's going to come now that we're starting to play 3 games a week after this, and with midweek fixtures as well. How do we balance resting people, getting people fit? I don't know. As Mooney goes for the long ball, again, not quite going to get there. Justin sees it out for a goal kick. Certainly a quieter start than last time. As we're back with 3 minutes on the clock, Ralph taking a throw on the left to Mooney, who had dropped deep to pick it up. Miley sitting in that midfield, just spraying the ball about. We're happy with that. He finds Kensdale and now Ralph. Looking for that direct pass forward, and there it is. Mooney will chase down the channel. Cardwell's in the middle if he gets there first. Brilliant from Dan Mooney. The goalkeeper came and didn't quite make it. Mooney just managed to hook it over him and in towards the goal. Cardwell timed his run. He stayed onside. And for the second time in a row, He scored a very early goal with his head. It makes us the 1-0 leaders at Dagenham, and this start is looking very good. We've got to take advantage here, basically, because any weeks where we've not got a midweek game are the only times this team is going to be at its best. And when it is, we've got to make sure we get points on the board. As Jones gets the ball out wide to Page, we've almost got to make the decision with midweek. Do we throw a game? Do we almost put our reserves out and put the youngsters out and hope then that the first team can react at the weekend? Or do we try and play them through the fatigue? I don't know. Certainly going to be a lot of training rest going on. As Eastman gets it wide to Hare. He finds Scott and now Blair. Dagenham coming back into this game. They've been woken up by conceding here. As Hessing-Tyler finds Vincent. And wide to Connor Lawless with 2 in the middle. Chance to cross for Effiong. Good finish. Keeper didn't look fit. Didn't really make an effort to save it. And with 9 gone, similar to last time, we've taken an early lead and been pegged back. Well, I've got to say, not as much goal mouth action in this one, although we've been done by a corner routine. Oh, just wide from Hessing-Tyler. They played it out to the edge of the box and we overcommitted. We put everyone in the 18-yard box. Got to watch out for it again here. No. Straight front post corner. And we've been beaten by the run. Far too good from them. It's 2-1 to Dagenham and Redbridge. And this is the reality biting now. Maybe the home games are going to have to be the focus. Because Dagenham are 2-1 up. They're a strong side in this league. And they're on the attack again here with 27 gone. Connor Lawless finding Effiong on the left flank. Scott Morris holds him up, but it's back to Lawless. It could get out of hand. It's a good save by the goalkeeper. At what point in this game do we decide to rest people for the week as well? We've got to start thinking about these things. As Scott takes the corner again into the front post. Taylor does well. Scott gets it again though. Back to Lawless. Shots just wide. They're all over us. And this time they're dominating the set pieces. They're winning more. They're making more of them. We're going to encourage the lads. Try and get them on board. But at the minute, we look second best. We can't get the likes of Bridge and Miley into the game. And overall, we're getting outplayed, to be honest. It's half time. It's 2-1 to Dagenham and Redbridge. And you've got to say, they're good value for their lead. Fair play to them. We need a big team talk. We need a big reaction as well. Let's get through to the dressing room. As ironically, we have actually got the better expected goal still. So I'll say you're unlucky. I'll try and encourage you a bit. But we don't want to concede a third early in this half. We need to get back on terms. We need to find a route through. And it doesn't look likely from what we saw at the end of that half, as Lawless finds Jones. Back to Lawless again. The former Luton man is doing really well. Finds Eastman at the back, who we've got to try and take advantage in behind, but we just can't get the ball out. As Blair gets in behind, Ralph makes the tackle. Scott finds Effiong. Good win from Husin. And we do break away, but again, Dagenham looking a real threat. And we are struggling to deal with them as they take a short set piece this time. Good ball in, but Effiong must have been offside. He was. The flag eventually goes up. This isn't good. Maybe we're going to have to adapt how we play away from home. Because pushing up the fullbacks, getting in behind, doesn't seem to be working. O'Power's nicked the ball high. Mooney wins it. Finds Bridge on the overlap. He's in one-on-one. And despite being outplayed, we had the chance, but it's cleared away. Bridge gets it in again. No. Mooney's down. And the referee... You owe a very big apology to him because I was about to appeal for a penalty. I think you all probably were as well. And Cardwell is there to tap into the empty net. Well done, referee, for that one. Now, what do we go for here? I'll tell you what. Going to make one little tweak, I think. We're going to stop looking for the overlap. Just going to try and keep our fullbacks a little deeper and see if it makes a difference. But the problem now at 2-2 is I can't take people off. And that means midweek is going to suffer. As Justin goes for the big kick downfield. Blair is up, but Cardwell all the way back there to win it. And it falls for Effiong. He goes back into his own half with Page, who puts it forward to Lawless. Scott Morris better there with a deeper starting position. Clears as far as Powell. He gives it to Taylor, who just hoofs towards Cardwell. Can't win it against Eastman. Again, we said that experience was going to be costly. And we're struggling to get Cardwell into the game. But he has still scored 2 tap-ins. As Page gets the ball on the left. He carries it down the line. Husin's challenge falls for Vincent. We're unfortunate there. But I've got to say it. Adeng and D, he's not fit. He is doing one hell of a job. Fair play to this kid. As we've got a corner kick to defend from Scott. We've had a lot of trouble with these today. It's into the front post. Scott Morris deals with it. It's out to the edge to Hessing-Tyler. Chance to shoot. Curls it just over. We're living dangerously again. With 20 minutes to go. Going to make the first change just to freshen it up a bit. On the right-hand side of midfield, I'm going to go for Ollie Coker, who, as we've discussed before, is not natural out there at all, but might be able to do a bit of a job for us. It's square pegs in round holes, it's filling voids until we can get players in. And this is life for the next 5 months at Southend United. Who can we bring on for the final 10? Because we've got knackered legs, we've got a big game on Tuesday night, and I feel like we might throw this away, as Scott is appealing for people to come short. Do not let them win this header again. They fooled us with that short one at the start, didn't they? As Jones heads over. We're going to make the second change now. I'm not going to take off Miley. It will be Noor Hussein. Fonguk will come on as the box-to-box. Can we cling on? Please let us cling on, as Mooney's got a free kick. Chance at the other end. Oh, he almost scored a free kick. Brilliant effort, Mooney. Out for a throw. Could have been the ultimate smash and grab, that. But with 5 minutes to go, it's not going to be. Bridge is knackered out there. I've got to take him off. I don't know who I can bring on because I've only got a centre forward and Huet. I'm going to have to go Fidesz on, Mooney out to the left, and then Fidesz up front as the advanced forward. Not the way we wanted to finish this game. But Dagenham might score before the sub anyway, as Kensdale knocks it down only as far as Scott. If this goes in, I'm claiming the superstition with the pending subs is still there. Effiong down for Vincent. We know what's coming, do we? Just over the bar. Shot from distance, and then D had it covered. 5 to go. If we could get a point out of this, I'd be thrilled. 4 points out of 6 would be a great start. -6, looks like we're making progress. And with 3 minutes of stoppage time played, no. I was celebrating a draw and they've got a corner. Hessin Tyler can shoot. Good block. It's out for another corner. Oh, I thought we were going to concede, and we might yet still. They've got everyone forward, but we've got more alert to it this time. 3 out nearer to the edge of the box. Lawless is going to take the corner. This would be heartbreaking. Don't let it happen to us. There's got to be a reason we're seeing it, surely. Lawless will put the corner in. Kensdale heads away. The full-time whistle goes. I'm thrilled with that. 4 points out of 6. Goals galore. And we're looking a really good side. I'm happy. The problem, of course, as we mentioned, is that we now go to playing Tuesday, Saturday, which 14 players is not going to cope with very well. But let's have a look at the schedule for where we're going to be back after giving some praise to Harry Cardwell. We go and have a look at the games coming up. I think we're going to come back probably for the Fylde game in September. The reason I picked that one is because it's in the middle of a spell of 5 games in 2 weeks. But also, the 23rd of September, if I remember rightly, yes, will be the first game that we have David Martin available for selection. So that's the one we're going to come back for as we meet a new face. If there's an injury crisis or anything in the meantime, we will come back to show it. But for now, if you did enjoy this one, a glorious start, but can we judge it? Because now we start playing midweek games and the squad will be thoroughly tested. If you enjoyed it, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you thought of the performances and what do you think the chances are of us avoiding injuries until January. If you want to stay up to date and find out how it all goes, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back with this one at the same time tomorrow. But before that, we're back with the head coach this afternoon. Come and check it out in the eye above if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitch for daily live streams throughout the beat up with my club Luton Town. And of course, you can find a football podcast up there too for plenty of non-league content. But thank you very much for watching as always. Your support is massively appreciated. And I'll see you back here next time, as hopefully we'll return on positive points.